something to keep.
Tell them to try pre-we, big up Portland Spice TV. Tell them to try pre-we, big up Portland Spice TV. Remember to subscribe. See, Portland Spice TV, Louis Culture say it once and we say it again. Portland Spice TV. We are going to hold them and pop it off. Bogus badge where we rip off. Subscribe, share. Portland Spice TV is here. Tell them to try pre-we, big up Portland Spice TV. Tell them to try pre-we, big up Portland Spice TV. Tell them to try pre-we, big up Portland Spice TV. Tell them to try pre-we, big up Portland Spice TV. Remember to subscribe. See, Portland Spice TV, Louis Culture say it once and we say it again. Portland Spice TV. We are going to hold them and pop it off. Bogus badge where we rip off. Subscribe, share. Portland Spice TV is here.
I find that there are a number of irregularities and anomalies within the governance structure of the university. But one that stands out for me is the audit finding speaking to contracts that were approved by the CEO without documented evidence of evaluation or procurement committee review. And I wanted to find out whether the internal auditor ever highlighted any such irregularity and whom did he report that to?
You heard the question, sir? All right, just repeat your question, Member Hamilton.
There is an audit finding that states that contracts were approved by the CEO without documented evidence of evaluation or procurement committee review. And I wanted to find out if your department ever highlighted such an irregularity and to whom did you make that report in that instance?
All right, thank you, member. Not the same instance, but in similar instances, because normally when we're doing those reviews, we would have looked in the minutes to see those contracts that were approved, and we had issues. We have highlighted issues in which we saw contracts that were completed, but we did not see them as ratified in the minutes. And it's in the audit findings, in the audit reports, and it is there, and nothing was done about it. All our audit reports are sent to the audit committee and the CEO. We have a dual reporting relationship where we report administratively to the CEO and functionally to the audit committee. So every quarter, Chair, the audit committee would get a report of all the audit activities for each quarter, and these will also be sent to the CEO for action. Thank you, member.
So you're saying that in that particular instance where the CEO, there's an issue with contract approval by the CEO, that such a report was also sent to the CEO for action?
Not specifically speaking to that particular issues. I'm saying, member, that were similar issues.
But that is what you're saying would happen when you have a report about an irregularity. It goes to the CEO and the chairman of the audit committee of the board.
Yes, member.
For action to be taken.
Yes, member.
Member Morrison.
Blessed is the man that walketh not in the counsel of the ungodly, nor standeth in the ways of sinners, nor sitteth in the seat of the scornful. But his delight is in the law of the Lord, and in his law do we meditate day and night. For we shall be like trees planted by the rivers of water, that bringeth forth our fruit in our season. Our leaves shall not wither, and whatsoever we do shall prosper. Welcome to the Colin Bell Show. Welcome. You know, I really have to chuckle and I have to laugh, because when you talk about corruption in Jamaica, some people is of the opinion that we're just talking. I hope you listened to that exchange a while ago, because we have a few more clips from the PAC. I took the time to cut out some of the things that I find important, because I see all kind of things that go around on social media. But understanding is a hell of a thing. Clover Hamilton a while ago. But I want to big up, or let's not say big up, throw that word through the window. I want to recognize the work of the MP of Southeast St. Mary, Christopher Brown, who pulled some things out and said some things. Share this live right now, because we are going to dive deep into the University of the West Indies. One of the clips I have to play, and I think it's going to be the final clip that I'm going to play. I heard it in the headline news on RJR a while ago. Customs say UA will have to pay about the money. Hell no! The University Hospital of the West Indies, that organization, that body, must not pay back a dime. Whomever signed off on those duty concession to use the University of the West Indies duty concession, whoever signed must pay. A calling on the citizens of Jamaica to ensure that whoever gave authorization and from whom these authorization came must pay, not the taxpayers of Jamaica. Time come. When you listen to this, my people, it is now up to the people of Jamaica, because the politicians, Juliet Cuthbert-Field, Currency Morrison, Christopher Brown, Clover Hamilton, the other MP, the other comrade MP from down at Hanover. What's her name? I hope I have a clip with her. They did their work. The Auditor General did her work. And the thing come to the fore. The CEO, the permanent secretary admit that they have been wrongdoing. Now, don't tell me that somebody never signed a document that these companies could use the duty concession for the University of the West Indies. Whomever signed must pay. I care zero who it is. Or tell us who told you to sign. Hey, something talk your people. At time me I going to call everybody, you know. Because them clip here when me going to play need crowd. We're going to be talking to Peter Gay Ferguson, the General Secretary of the PNP-YO, at about 5:30. So let's start. We play the first clip already. We have too much clip. We can't go back. Listen to GLP MP Currency Morris now. Listen this.
Contracts of 111 contracts they need to follow closely, and I'm going to ensure they need to follow closely, and I'm going to ensure that they follow. We're looking at audit findings here, And just let me highlight a few, and this is for the interest of those watching. Procurement documentation not provided for 51 of 11 contracts, of 111 contracts. Contracts approved by CEO without documented evidence of evaluation or procurement committee review. Procurement processes conducted after delivery of goods and services. Retrospective bidding used to support completed works. Contract splitting used to fall below procurement thresholds. Direct contracting used for approximately 64% of procurement activities. So this strikes me, Chairman, as a cocktail of inefficiency, and which, of course, I'm of the view, created the facility for all of these breaches. Now, let us look at management's response, which I am of the view...
Just procedurally,
right.
Before you came in, what I intended to do was go through them one by one.
Hold on, Chair.
Yeah.
Allow me. I'm getting there. I'm of the view that the management's response in this instance is somewhat in parts incongruous. 28 missing files located, efforts ongoing to locate missing files, instructions issued to discontinue identified practices, and so on. What were the consequent actions pertinent to these breaches identified in the audit findings, and who is complicit and or culpable, and what is the head of procurement saying in these matters? Thank you.
Well, I'll invite the acting CEO to comment, and as he said, he's new to the position, but he can.
That's fine.
But the team is here that can support him.
Thank you, Chair, and thank you, Member. I did state in my opening remarks, I'm not sure if you were here, that there is a committee formed by the board, the Catherine Phipps Committee, that is investigating the matters related to the Auditor General's report and to identify staff members who may be liable or culpable in the instances, and then make recommendations as to the actions that should be taken. There is also the police and the customs who are involved, along with the Integrity Commission, who are doing their investigation to identify where there may be anything related to any illegal practice and to make take the necessary action. So we are awaiting those response. As I explained, Mr. Chair, we have received one report only from customs to date, and they have said they will be coming to us with the others. And we received that just on Friday of last week, sorry. So there are things being put in place, and we have changed a lot of the procedures. We have done some training for the staff, a serious amount of training during that time, and we have issued letters to persons to cease and desist from certain activities.
All right, members, we have spent about...
Cease and desist letters. My people, I never hear them as something yet in all of life. The things them will come out yesterday. I said it the other day, that anybody, because you see, all these people who are in charge of the University of the West Indies, they are aligned, Some people now go and put it out there because some people are going to say, there is politics. Politics is in this. You hear me? Let me tell you if you don't know. Politics in this. Here? Politics in there. You talk about the board. People on the board we're supposed to oversee all of this and labor right them. Stop going like an idiot. 8 members of the board is named by the Minister of Health. The chairman of the board is named by the Minister of Health. Let me just make it clear to you now. So there's politics involved. The corruption spread far and wide. And all this money that they're talking about, taxpayers' money. The University of the West Indies. University of the West Indies Hospital. The University Hospital of the West Indies. UHWI. University Hospital of the West Indies. Yes. Yes. And I really appreciate how the MPs worked together, because nobody, it just in the last, it sound like when it get really nasty, it sound like Juliet want to ease up. Cuthbert Finn, that is. Let's take you to another clip. Hold on.
Say though, Mr. Barrett, did you say the training for GoJeb was in 2023?
16.
I mean, it would have started before that, and it continued from year to year. So usually the Office of Public Procurement Policy...
Hold on. I don't have no time for no idiot in the chat room today. Y'all tell me about it spread across both party, you dumb. You half-wit. When was the last time the PNP governed Jamaica? It's 10 years now. One party have governed Jamaica. Don't tell me backside. But it spread across. What do you mean it spread across both parties? It's one party have access to government funding now. We deal with these kind of things. PNP not deal with them kind of something. If a PNP get a piece of fish head out of it, there is a labor right. We run that fish head. Understand it. And stop playing fool.
Trainings, particularly in the summers, we have summer series. In 2024, we had an Elevate Procurement Conference that had a lot of training around various aspects of public procurement.
And what was the amount that you would have to go on GoJeb for? Because I just did something as a member of parliament, and it was $5 million, and they had to go on the site.
So mandatory.
So I'm trying to understand, of the 20 that were published, does that mean then the 780 were below $5 million?
Right. So there's a mandatory requirement for using the GoJeb platform for anything above 1.5 million Jamaican dollars. For amounts below that, you are encouraged to use it, but it's not mandatory. But for anything above 1.5 million Jamaican dollars, there's a requirement for the system to be used.
So that's even crazier, because that means the University of the West Indies were purchasing stuff for below $1.5 million. Am I understanding correctly?
Well, the question I would ask is where the 10 million figure came from, that you decided you'd use 10 million and above, given that the government's requirement is 1.5 million.
Right.
So where did that figure come from? Somebody
Exactly.
just pull it out of the ear? How? No, let me just ask, because maybe there's some rationale for the 10 million figure.
Okay, the rationale for the 10 million, it was an internal decision because of the training. The department.
So the department made a decision. Was that sanctioned by the board or anybody?
To my
management.
To my understanding, at the time, it was mandated. 5 organizations, if I could remember, were doing the pilot project with GoJeb. So we at the time. It was still a pilot project, but we at the time feel that we, in terms of learning the system, so when everything come on mainstream, the department would be of faith without to monitor the system, and that is how that 10 million came into being.
So basically a decision was taken to circumvent the system. I mean, that's what it is, because no, but you can't tell me no if it's only 20 out of 800 transactions were uploaded. Well, help me, Auditor General, if I'm wrong.
All right, so my understanding, Mr. Chairman, as the procurement director said, in 2021, they were invited to participate in the training for the GoJeb, how to use the system. The circular did not come into being until 2023, but the requirements, the mandatory upload of all procurement came in 2023. So in 2021, the UHWI participated in the training and they took the initiative. They were not required to upload to GoGEP. They took the initiative to upload and so that they would start with procurements at $10 million and above. What they failed to do was actually in 2023, and I can't speak to about their knowledge of the circular, but I know that they received training at some point in time in terms of how to use the system. They never went back and adjusted the policy that they had implemented. So they never transitioned from the pilot into and to regularize the adoption of the requirements of the ministry.
I hear you.
Because I think they were doing it ad hoc. That's what we saw. They were just doing it ad hoc because they did not embed it in their control and governance process, which is what needs to be done.
That is correct, Auditor General.
Oh boy.
Oh boy. Somebody must pay. Somebody believed that they had the power to be a law unto themselves. The thing say any contract over 1.5 shall be uploaded to the JAM whatever, the portal for contracts. The University Hospital of the West Indies that came into being since 2023. Them not do that. CEO are sign off on these things. The CEO must be called to the front of the line. Hey, let me see if Jamaican people are going to sit down and allow this to just go like that and we, because we don't hear none yet, you know? I don't think we don't hear none yet. For those who did not watch the PAAC, and I must never this because I never want this to stop. Me know. Me think never want this to stop. Hey. I shut the phone shut down. Hold on. Hold on. Because I can't believe I shut the phone shut down. I know say this kind of alick hot and never would mind this stop. But now I go stop here so because what go on here so madness. I don't know hear nothing yet. I don't know hear nothing yet. May I tell you? If you have the next number, call it. Because I opening phone line. God, this is madness. Let me go to our next clip because the clip them have the clips not play yet. And you know hear how bad it is. Let's go to this is the fourth clip.
This particular issue as it relates to the misuse of. Yeah, thank you very much, Mr. Chair.
Hold on.
You know,
this is the man. This is the man who took it to the level that brought out some revealing things. Christopher Brown, listen. Listen.
So, the first question I want to ask on this particular issue as it relates to the misuse of the tax exempt status. The Auditor General, in her findings, said companies. Can you, because I think it is in your purview to name, and she mentioned private company 1, private company 2, private company 3, private company 4. Can you tell the committee, and that's my first question, what are the names of private company 1, private company 2, private company 3, private company 4?
I know that the Auditor General redacted the names.
I'm not directing the question to the Auditor General. I'm directing the question to you.
I'm answering.
Yes.
I'm answering, member. And we know that the The matter is under investigation.
The matter is under investigation for one company, and I'm going to get to that. So
No,
I'm asking.
it's under investigation for all, but only
But
one.
in
one case, and I can.
I just want to hear the names of the companies.
I can give you the name of
Yes.
the one that the work has been completed by customs, and they have actually given us the report with the one name.
No, I don't think that is acceptable, because I don't know. Did you issue the name? Because the name came out there before the customs report, as far as I know. So I'm asking the university hospital, through you as the CEO, to provide the names. This has nothing to do with the investigation. Do you know the names of the 4 companies?
I will seek guidance on releasing all the names, member, but I can share the name of the one that we have gotten the report of.
I'm not asking you for the name of the one, but because why is there secrecy around naming all the 4? And how come the country heard of this one long before customs and things would have gotten the information from the university hospital? So I'm just asking you here, what are the names? This is my first question.
Do you know the names? Do you know the names?
Can you repeat that, member?
Do you know the names?
No, I am. No.
Yes or no?
Now, the question is the name of the 4 companies that benefited from the tax exempt status.
I know that the Integrity Commission has the file. The names, as would have been known, seen by the Auditor General, were seen by us also. But in terms of the completion of the investigation, one has
So
been
were the,
completed.
are the investigations around the named company, which that name was in the public space for months, were those
We didn't release any names, you know. We have not released any names even to this point.
But you're saying you know of one, and you can name one for investigations
based
complete.
on the report from the customs which I have here, I can state what customs has stated as being the one company.
What has customs stated without naming the company? What is the summary of the findings of customs' investigation in relation to that entity?
No, but I think, Chairman, before we go there, though, so the university is unable to name the 4 entities that have all benefited from the misuse as defined by the Auditor General's findings. Misuse of the tax exempt status. You can't name, you refuse to name, because I don't think the response about Integrity Commission prevents you from naming who those entities are.
Okay, let me just answer the chairman's question and I'll come to you. I'm just making sure I get the correct spelling of the names, all right? I'm getting that. But the chairman asked, what did the report from customs state, right? Third-party verification from the name company with the assistance of the CEO of that company. That one, the goods were imported and these are the dialysis machines. One, the goods were imported by the company, the goods were paid for by the company, the value of the goods was verified by way of payment records received from the company, custody of the goods was verified to be that of the company, and the address, and that it was not, and the company confirmed that the goods were in fact imported for that company by the university.
Hold on, Marshy.
The name of the Willman's Sales.
What's that?
Willman's Sale. Like Willman, WILLMAN, Sales, SALES. Scientific Medical Services. And Jack Den Limited.
Hold on, the Marshy.
Thank you very much, CEO. Chairman, I want to proceed now to, so what is clear is that the university hospital have been, whether or not this is a to utilize my friend's good phrase earlier on, whether this is institutionalized. The CEO can't say whether the use of the tax exemption status is an institutionalized way of how the UE has been operating. But what is clear is that it is more than one company as named. Secondly, in responding to the Auditor General's finding, your letter, I believe both the Permanent Secretary's letter as well as your response was that the documents have been submitted to both the Jamaica Customs Agency as well as the Jamaica Constabulary Force. Have all 4 instances, those 4 named companies, were those documents submitted for all 4?
We have given them copies of the document for all 4.
For all 4, okay. All right.
Based on what we have, as I said, there are instances where we would not have the documents because it was done outside of the hospital.
All right. So you're saying that you have now received the investigations that customs have been undertaken, having received the 4 matters raised here by the Auditor General for the 4 companies. You have submitted all 4, but you have only received their reports on 1.
On 1.
So the country,
they have said that they will actually provide the penalties for that one, because what we have done, they have completed their assessment and determined that there was a 10 million duty that should have been paid for that one, and that they will provide us with the penalties, if any. Well, they said there's a minimum of 500, so there will be a penalty. They will provide that to us in short order, and the other reports will be provided to us in short order also.
Okay, so we will await that. And
I was going to say, so again, as the follow-up, the committee would need, once you have been...
So I've been saying, Marshy, who go and pay those money? Not me. Yeah, Marshy, evening. Turn off the background and forward on the telephone. Yes.
So, did this man seek guidance to call out Jack them name?
The man call out all 4 names. What he's saying that the University Hospital of the West Indies never released no name. So I not Jack their name alone him call him. I not Jack their name alone him call all 4 names.
Well, as far as I see, it come like golden shower by out to one of them man a virgin.
I'm not going there with you.
Golden shower. You know who name golden shower?
Yes, I do. I'm not going there with you. Let's talk about.
The money well buy out.
Who is the CEO? Hold on. Who is the CEO of the University Hospital of the West Indies? Not the acting CEO, because the man that was in the parliament is the acting CEO. And not him, or the man. Who is the CEO? Anybody know?
In the pan, I leave or leave. Which one in the pan?
Leave.
Leave?
Yes. Left, yeah. I wonder if I run him runway. Wonder if him gone in hiding.
We don't know. Because you have a man who try to take himself before certain investigation come out, you know.
But you may
say that man sick.
But you may have a man who have taken away himself already.
Yes.
Anybody know who is the CEO of the University Hospital of the West Indies? Because it sounds like this man have some powers that we are not aware of, you know.
Yeah. Right.
Very powerful.
Hey, not even nationwide can help them, because you see when they do the wrongs, they run to nationwide. And nationwide one hippopotamus. When like come on,
I saw Faval down there. Minister of Finance, we are inviting you to have a discussion with Colin Bell and Ralston Iman. Any day of the week, anytime. We want to have a discussion. I saw her down at Nationwide singing to the choir.
Let me tell you something. I know when me say she's not again. I know when she was a shareholder. Me say she's not again. So many years ago.
I don't care if she's a shareholder. Fine. They are a media house. They have listeners. And I believe that it is her duty to go there. Just like it is her duty to come here on Portland Spice TV.
Yeah. Because the thing about it, when you have that spin bowling in it can be difficult, you know.
Yes.
Because they must spin over them. You know, so you have a bowl straight ball.
No, but what they bowl, if they get a PNP batsman, they will bowl properly. But when they get a government minister, they bowl what we used to call donkey drops. They bowl long ups and they get hit out of the park and the minister comes out looking beautiful. They don't bowl full and straight. They don't keep the ball on a steady line, length and line so that you can pull out the weakness out of the batsman. And we're not trying to pull out no weakness. We're not playing gotcha journalism. We want the truth.
The system is so corrupt, Colin. The system is so corrupt and I forced to think corruptly. Those guys over Nationwide, I think they brief the person who they're going to interview before them interview them, so they have answers prepared.
Let me tell you, sometimes some of these ministers come on your program and they tell you what they want to talk about. But and I would accept talking about what they want to talk about, but it got to be fair that they also talk about some of what I want to talk about. Because yes, you're coming on, there are certain projects you may want to talk about. Say, Mr. Bell, I want to talk about this project and that project. And then I will say, and I have some other questions for you. So I will ask the questions that they suggest. I will ask about projects that they suggest, but you must give me 3 or 4 questions for me, and then you must leave 2 or 3 for the listeners and the viewers. It's not just about you.
Because what I want to know, if you call any of these GLP person interviewing them, you know what they can tell you? Everything that is bad about the PNP, they speak articulately, fluently. They just flow like a river flowing. They tell you everything bad about the PNP. Start asking them something about the JLP now. And I don't know. They don't know what to say.
But I am not in my interviews. I'm not interested. If I get a minister now, I want to talk about governance. I want to talk about the performance of the administration that is now leading my country. That's what I want to talk about.
And them didn't know, and them have to answer to what going on because.
As I hear me said to the Prime Minister.
Back in the 70s, I can remember, I don't know if you're old enough to remember those things. When Egypt and Israel did have them bang around and America going at it, and the man them start to use them weapon, the oil as weapon, and the oil moved from $3 per barrel to $33 per barrel. Back there in the 70s, that shake up the Jamaican economy, I can remember, and Michael Manley did have to come up with what you call an anti-inflation package. It's like a budget they have to craft again. This current government, what are they saying about the current crisis? What is their plan? Because they don't have a budget. They never presented a budget a few days ago. They write something and they feel bad. And she make an ill of it. Nothing, we don't know what's happening now.
Hey.
Every day oil is going, every day is going. And now stop talk about they remove and collect the money from us. No, we don't have nothing to help with, and they sit back and not saying anything.
All right, Marshy. All right.
Take it easy.
We're waiting to be joined by Peter Gay Ferguson. And we are also expected to be joined by the teacher, Ralston Ayman. We expect him to join us as well. All right, Marshy. 876-804-7072. Yes, caller, good evening.
Good evening, Colin.
We have 2 more clips that we have not played yet that are also damning. But we're taking, go ahead.
And that's what you remind me, you know. That's why it's very important that the citizens of Jamaica be fully informed how to make and make an arrest. You know what I mean? A citizen arrest. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Yeah, so can you get that information? So because I think citizens might have started making an arrest because the tax money is going down the drain.
No, this can't continue, you know. For what reason somebody at the University Hospital of the West Indies feel like he or she had the power to go around government guidelines? From 2023, it was mandatory that every contract over $1.5 million must upload it to the portal. And the University of the West Indies on a frolic of the University Hospital of the West Indies on a frolic of their own, only uploading when they want over $10 million. 65% of the contracts that were direct contracting. Talk to me.
Colin,
yeah.
Colin, get on your legal expert to inform the Jamaican citizen how they can make an illegal arrest of citizen illegal arrest on these criminals.
A citizen's arrest, yes.
Yes. It's very important that the citizens know they can make a legal arrest on these people who are just want to the money. You know what I mean? Because if you notice, the commissioner of police is so tied to the Prime Minister, and the Prime Minister himself is a very dodgy bloke. You know what I mean?
Yes.
So I think the citizens have to learn how to make an illegal arrest.
Not illegal, a citizen arrest, a citizen's arrest, not an illegal arrest.
Citizen arrest, yeah. A legal arrest.
All right,
so
my brother.
Try to get us educated and
yeah, man. I am going to work on that for you, definitely. Blessings.
Yeah, thank you. Bye-bye.
All right. The man want to make a citizen's arrest. Think a joke. Think it's a joke. It's not a joke. It's not a joke. We cannot sit down as citizens of this country and talk about we're patriotic and accept this. Vincent Edwards.
Mr. Bell, good evening.
Good evening, sir. What the hell is happening?
Coming to that, the young lady you have yesterday, the discussion on the sports athletics.
Yes. Yes.
What a beautiful girl.
Oh, Lord.
Hey, when I watch her listening and looking at her, man, why, I told myself that I will never marry, but after seeing her, I've changed my mind. I feel like I will marry.
Have all the feelings you want. Let's talk data.
Mr. Bell.
Dr. Gale said when you have gut feelings, you must go to the toilet. Go to the bathroom. Let's talk data.
The public account meeting yesterday.
Yes.
My member of parliament, because he's a member of parliament for everyone in Southeast here.
Yes, man. Yes, man. He's the MP. Yes. And no P.
Mr. Christopher Brown.
Yes.
What can we the man on fire?
Oh, God.
What the hell? Mr. Brown, Mr. Brown, you know, Colin, we may have a hard time taking at this seat back from Chris Brown, you know. We may have a hard time, but we have to fight. We can't.
Neville, let's talk about Jamaica. I know you like GLP and me love PNP, but let's talk about Jamaica right now.
Yeah.
What is happening at the University Hospital of the West Indies, Neville? What is happening?
Disgrace and shame, man. How can you spend over $500 million and you can only present documents for half of the money? The documents for the other half you can find and come to the command post called meeting with foolishness board. You put them in a box in some place where I plug out and all them. Those men, those people in charge of that need to charge and find guilty, man.
Well,
this is nonsense and rubbish. It doesn't look good enough international.
I believe in this case, we must hold somebody who make these decisions. And if them not make it on them own, they must tell we who. Or you are going to wear short pants. Because here is custom right away, you know, saying that one of the company will use the duty concession of the University of the West Indies. The bill is $10 million. Now the hospital must not pay that. The taxpayers must not pay that. But the person whose signature went on that document must pay it.
What are the talk about that? My youth, young Jamaica, is calling up on Mr. Gordon to resign.
Resign from what?
Because
what he must resign as shadow minister?
Well, I don't know what they are. Well, put it that maybe as member of parliament.
As member, so what would you say about Donovan Williams? Donovan Williams must resign too? Talk to me.
I am just asking you, what is your opinion? Because you call on Donovan Williams to step down, you know. Did you?
Yes, I did.
All right.
No, but hold on. Jack then is a company. So we need to get the information if it's what garden name? My MP there? Dennis Garden. Dennis Garden is a director, maybe the chairman, but we need to find out how did Jack then get to use the University Hospital of the West Indies tax, whatever, and the other companies. Because maybe, and just maybe, somebody at UHWI is collecting money. So we need to get to the bottom of it. So if you want to call on Dennis Garden to come to the front of the line and answer questions, it's the same way there's a young lady on the screen right now. You like Pretty Woman. Where's she gone? I had a beautiful lady on the screen a while ago, but I don't know where she gone. Let me bring up Ralston. All right, you can go back and watch, but the same way we are calling for Donovan Williams, because the thing is, you know, nephew, Dennis Gardner admit to nothing yet, you know. Donovan Williams, this your man here, admit to use it to holding shares for somebody, you know. See me? Remember, you know, him admit to wrongdoing, you know. Him admit to holding shares for somebody, and we need to know who him hold the shares for, because that act is an illegal act. You remember that? What?
It's the reason why 60% of the Jamaican people have nothing to do with the politics. You see why? Because both GLP and PNP have these supporters, including you and Sonny.
Brother, nephew, which government has been in power for the last 10 years?
The GLP.
Then everything we're bad now, everything we have a wrong now, a labor right to do it, brother. Or PNP getting at this? When was the last time PNP had government? Tell with the corruptions, the allegation of corruption that took place between 2012 and 2016. Let's talk about that, because that's the last time PNP was in power.
Mr. Bell, I told you over and over that both parties have a good day and a bad day. Both parties have a good day and a bad day. No one can deny.
You have a question for Ralston. Ralston, Iman, good evening.
Yes, sir. Good evening.
If you have a question for Ralston, maybe we'll take that now, but we're going to talk to Ralston.
Yes. Ronnie.
Yeah, man.
The interest rate. I hear it on the news today, which you mentioned also yesterday, that the Bank of Jamaica keep the rate at the present rate at the moment. Because the uncertainty of what is happening in the world because of that man, Donald Trump. And then it is also telling us that the economy lost some ground because of the hurricane, the last hurricane. But it also tells us that with job concern is that the numbers is not bad. The numbers is not bad. So the point the question I'm asking, will this help us with the interest rate holding our what? Give us your opinion. I will just listen on the phone.
Yeah, well, right now, the decision is the appropriate decision for now, because all of the international central banks are either holding interest rates or planning to raise them because of the impact of the war. Because of the impact of the war on inflation. First, the impact of the war on fuel prices and oil prices and inflation. So all the international central banks, Bank of England, Fed Reserve, ECB, all international central banks are now holding rates firm or planning to raise them depending on how the war pans out. That is why we're telling you that you missed the opportunity when rates were coming down internationally. We missed that opportunity. That was a missed opportunity. Now it's difficult to bring them down given that the international trend is up. Bad policy again.
Miss opportunities.
Yeah, man. Long time we're warning about that. Yep.
But I want to introduce Peter Gay Ferguson. Peter Gay is the General Secretary of the PNP-YO.
Okay.
Peter Gay, good evening.
Good evening, Comrade Colin. Thank you for having me. I'm sure my camera is set right. Am I in the right frame? Okay.
No, you are. You and the PNP-YO is calling for the resignation of Donovan Williams. Why?
I mean, to be honest with you, from the looks of it, from what we've heard and what we're seeing, I can tell you that in the minds of young people in this country, it really sends the wrong signal. And I know at a time such as now, persons might ask, why are you calling for one MP to step aside and you haven't said anything about the other MP? But that in and of itself is something else. And I will say something about that here this evening. But for us, it sends the wrong signal. And what we're looking at is his own counselor is confessing from her mouth. And it's one thing if she had only alluded or alleged that, you know, he's the one who is misappropriating funds for roadworks or any other program. But she also implicated herself in this. So, you know, you could say maybe she was trying to be mischievous, but she did tell us, the nation, how those dealings went. And if anybody is of any good conscience, you would know that that's just not something that the JLP should tolerate, and that Jamaicans on a whole should never tolerate those situations. And I mean, we have too many cases of corruption lingering in this country and monies that are being moved to the roads. As soon as them fix, them mash up. That is not something that we can have in Jamaica. The roads are not being properly dealt with. there are other things that we can get into. You understand? So when monies are being allocated to do what they're supposed to do, they should be used in the right way. And whether you're green or orange, you must be held accountable whenever you are found to be in such a precarious position. And that's what we're saying. He should do the right thing, step aside until the investigations are over and his name can be cleared from those allegations.
Ralston.
Yeah, man.
These kind of scandal and allegations we've been listening to the PAC yesterday with what is happening at the University of the West Indies. How does these things affect our economy and also foreign direct investments?
Well, the first thing is that it has a negative impact on investor confidence. So right now, internationally, investors are not confident because of the level of uncertainty related to the global events such as the war. So when you have this kind of situation where you are making yourself less investable, as Leachin contended, then you are going to have a big problem. So corruption and misallocation of scarce resources is a big problem for the economy. It keeps us poor. Simple.
And with what is happening at the University of the West Indies, already the report from customs and one of the investigation is that $10 million will have to be paid to the customs because of misuse of the duty concession. How do we deal with that as a nation? Is the taxpayers of Jamaica, should the taxpayers of Jamaica pay this back?
Yeah, man, those things are depriving the government of scarce revenue and making it necessary for additional taxes, which makes us poorer. Yep. So those things deprive the government of revenue to carry out the most basic functions without having to tax us.
Peter Gay, the call from the PNP-YO, how does that sit now with the fact that in the PAC, a company which a PNP member of parliament is also a director in, is also said to be using tax exemption from the University of the West Indies?
Well, to be honest with you, on that one in particular, Comrade Colin, what I will say about that is I'm of the belief, and I'm sure my other members in the organization, is that in situations as these, we must allow the investigations to take place. And at the end of the day, we should allow the chips to fall where they may. So if at the end of this investigation, the MP is found to be in any legal issues with the laws and so on, then that is a matter that the party will have to address and deal with at such a time. But I want to say something to you, because I notice every time the Young Jamaica or G2K, they take pleasure in writing certain types of press releases. And I can't help but to figure that it's really the JLP who wants to say these things, but because they're afraid of looking bad or looking petty, they allow the Young Jamaica or G2K to write these releases and send them out. I mean, I have not heard, and I've been watching this matter closely. And when the time comes, we will hear about the legality of the matter, and then we'll be able to say whether or not MP Gardner is in a situation where he needs to recuse himself, from public office or whatever. I've not heard there is a certain MP of the Jamaica Labour Party who is closely affiliated with Jackden. I've never heard them call for his resignation.
Hold on.
A certain minister or former minister, I've never, and I can say that with my chest.
So Jackden is a company. I said that before, and then
okay,
is but one director
okay
of the company.
Okay.
Who else is a director of the company that sits in the parliament or used to sit in the parliament?
There is a certain current. I'm not talking about you, Sino. I'm talking about now, as we are here speaking. There is a current Andrew in the parliament who is affiliated closely, heavily involved in Jackden. So tell Young Jamaica and G2K that the next release that they write, they should call for that member of parliament's resignation as well. So until they do that, I have nothing to say to them.
Hold on, you're saying that Dennis Gordon is not the only director of Jackden that sits in the House of Representatives presently?
Ask Young Jamaica and G2K if they've done their homework, and if they want to be honest, they will address it. But I say that here, Comrade Colin, because I've never heard them address it. And I'm certain that when Jack Den was doing their launch, I used my own 2 eyes that God gave me. And I saw that certain member of parliament, former minister, sitting minister there. I saw him with my own 2 eyes.
Minister now, right?
I don't even know what him role is now, but he was, as a former minister.
Prime Minister, no.
Well, it seems like you know what I'm getting at. You seem to know what I'm getting at. But I'm saying, when we speak about fairness, when we speak about balance, and when we speak about holding those in public office accountable, we cannot be a flip-flop about it. We cannot be two-sided about it. And we also cannot be, we can't try to sway the nation in a particular way and forget the full facts. You can't give half information. You can't curate the truth in a way that will never stand the test of time. But they know those things. And I would love to see Young Jamaica tell them to challenge me on that. Tell them to challenge me.
Let me ask you though, because we have Ralston Hyman on the line and we talk a lot about the economy in Jamaica right now.
Yeah.
But we see you writing on this issue where Rosie is bringing up this argument about Donovan Williams.
Yes.
Donovan Williams is also the holder of shares in secret for somebody else, which the law of the land does not allow. Why is it that young PNP never ran on this? Because this, for me, this looks like a bigger issue, Ralston, where an MP sits in the parliament and is breaking the law and already admitted that shares for somebody else. And the law of Jamaica says that should no longer happen. Why you guys don't write on?
We've seen it addressed. We've seen that matter being addressed already by the party. So, at the time, we didn't feel like there was any additional need to continue to write on it or elaborate on the matter, because we have seen where the party and the leader brought up this matter over and over again, and even amplified the call for him to be properly investigated in that specific case. And so it is still there, and we do support it. Like we say, it's not about being biased, but whenever these issues arise, we should allow the investigation to take place and allow the chips to fall where they may. So we still hold that view, in that regard, in that specific matter as well.
Finally, for me, so you're still insisting on the PNPYO that Donovan Williams stepped down at this time?
Oh yes, because it's not the first, it's not the second time. We've heard his name over and over again, and what is so amazing, in other democracies around the world, had any government, any administration been so entangled in these issues of corruption and cases of corruption, I don't think they would have even been able to brag about a second term, much less a third term. And people take these matters seriously. And I think the Jamaica Labour Party takes for granted that apathy is growing in Jamaica. So when you leave the few people who don't care how the vote sway at the day to vote, and those who actually have an independent thought, who understand certain things, become so comfortable and laid back, then these are the things that are allowed to happen. And we have to ensure that we hold those in public office accountable. And one of the ways in which we can do that is when them keep up arms out, you vote them out. Your vote speaks to those things. And I think at the end of the day, whichever way the country votes, it shows you, how the people are thinking, what their feelings are. But the truth is that there is a great apathy issue. And every time this situation comes up, it makes young people more apathetic toward the voting process. And even it makes us disinterested in wanting to actually take up public life, even if we have good to offer. It makes us second guess, because when you see what is happening, you really wonder if when you go in there, you can make any sort of change in a good way for the country. When so much corruption, corruption has become the hallmark of this JLP government.
Raleigh.
So it's hard to make young people want to, do better when you see these things.
Raleigh, you have any questions for Peter Gay? Question.
No, not really.
OB's on the line. Let me bring up OB. Have a question. Hold on. That's not good. I don't know what's coming back to us background, OB, but something coming back to us. Peter Gay, finally, do you think a lot of my viewers and listeners believe that the PNP is not strident enough on issues to do with the government and how we operate in the parliament? What is the thought of the PNP-YO?
To be honest, I don't believe that. And here's the thing, what I find to happen, there is a time when you hear people say, we're always opposing, without giving full context as to what we are opposing against. And this is where I can say the opposition People's National Party is always at the forefront of these matters when they arise. They take it to the parliament. They address the matters. You see with the press releases, you see the press conferences, articles are being written. And so there is work being done. But what I noticed with Jamaican people, I don't know what it is. There seems to be this thing where, oh, it's the opposition. Them just always opposing. But at the end of the day, it is not only the opposition's job to oppose, it's for every well-thinking and decent Jamaican to take public persons who hold public office to task in ensuring that we all keep them accountable. So it can't only be the PNP who needs to be talking about it in the parliament or outside of the parliament. We too have to take some amount of interest. And when we hear these conversations, we have to read beyond the headlines to ensure that we have the full facts, we know what is happening, and we even do some investigation for our own selves so we can become affair with what is actually taking space within the public domain and be able to comment in a real way on those matters. And I know you didn't really ask, but I want to say one thing, and is that we ought to, as Jamaicans, we ought to pay closer attention. I know it is very difficult for people to balance their regular lives and want to take interest in, public matters, but I want to encourage us as Jamaicans to actually become a little bit more interested in national affairs, because these things do affect the quality of life that we live in the country. It affects the level of healthcare that people have access to in the public sector, the quality education that is being delivered in schools. It affects all those things. And Friday, I was listening to the sitting of the Senate while Senator Mazike Thames was speaking, and she was talking about history and how the JP always distorts history to suit their narrative and leaving out important aspects of it that really matters. And I saw Senator Golden on the other side stood up in the parliament and commented on a point of order to say that the history is not relevant in this case. And I was like, how can you say that? Our history is so important. It shapes how we are today, and you cannot take out the parts that show that every time Jamaica is going in a wrong direction, every time you can depend on somebody to sell out Jamaica. In Jamaica, it is the JP government who the US or other countries rely on to do that, and they will do anything that serves them and forget about how it will impact the people, the everyday ordinary people. They forget that, and we cannot ignore our history and the important role that it plays in shaping how the country operates today, and that's very important.
Peter Gay, let me thank you for taking the time out to talk to us this afternoon as you call for the resignation of MP Donovan Williams of Central Kingston, based on all the things that the councillor, not just a Labour writer, not just a regular citizen, an elected representative, has been calling for. Thank you, Peter.
Thank you for having me, and have a good rest of your show. Yeah, man. Bless up.
Bless up. Conrad O'Brien, Wagwan.
Hi, Colin. How are you doing?
There, man. All things.
Yeah, Raleigh, I'm fine. Hi, Raleigh Cole. Peter Gay, I know she just left. But Colin, listen to my good friend Peter Gay, and I want to hail her as one of the young people who stepped forward. But I think, the first order of business is that she need to call out young people. The fact of the matter is that the young people here in Jamaica are very apathetic in the politics. Look at the number. Huh?
She spoke to that. She did.
No. She said that based on what is happening, they will be apathetic. She did not say that. And the fact is that they are. If they decide to step forward, they could make a difference. If young people, and we have to call these things, Colin. We have to call these things. Also, we have to be careful. The call, in my view, with Donovan Williams, is not so much as member of parliament, but is as a member of the executive. Call should be made for the prime minister to sack him. And certainly, just a sec, and certainly, if the situation is that where Dennis Gordon, by virtue of his affiliation with his company, then the prime minister, the opposition leader, can remove him from offices that he appointed to, and it goes further.
It go further. When Peter Gay said that there is another member.
Yes, man. And I'm going there. And she must not be shy or coy in calling the name, because we know it's public knowledge. It is minister with portfolio responsibility out of the office of the Prime Minister, Andrew Wheatley. He is a member of a director in Jacqueline, and she's indeed correct that the call that is coming from Young Jamaica and from G2K should go for Andrew Wheatley as well. So on the other hand, along the continuum, the Prime Minister, if they're calling for Dennis to be sacked from his appointment of Andrew Wheatley, should also be called for to be sacked.
All right, let me brace this a little bit, because we did just bring in Raleigh when Peter Gay was on. But Raleigh, give us your update on what is happening today, what happened today in Jamaica's economy.
Well, starting to release the fourth quarter GDP numbers today. So the economy down by 7.1% during the fourth quarter. The goods producing sector declined by 10.7%. The services sector, which is 70% of the economy, declined by 5.9%. And within the goods producing sector, mining and quarrying fell by 38%. Agriculture by 17.7%. Manufacturing by 8.1%. Construction by 2.5%. The accommodation food services sector, which is a proxy for the tourism sector, fell by 31%. Information and communication fell by 12.6%. Electricity, water fell by 11.7%. Transport fell by 7.5%. Education and health services by 6.8%. Real estate and business activities, which include BPO, fell by 3.5%. Wholesale and retail fell by 2.2%. Yeah, the only sector to grow was finance and insurance services by 1.4% and public administration by 2.2%. So 7 out of the 9 economic sectors declined overwhelmingly.
What is public administration? What kind of production that brings to the table?
Well, we are yet to find out what kind of production. That was a new one that started added last year. So we are yet to find out what is
finance and
financial services. As usual, up by 1.4%.
So is that the banking services?
And insurance,
yeah, man, financial services and insurance and all of those things.
But administration, that last one there, when that comes.
Yeah, we still need to get a definition as to what that is about. Starting at that last year.
Could we hazard a guess, Raleigh, that what they're talking about is the public service?
No, man.
So where that come from? That name, the kind of sound that could be suspect.
Yeah, man. That is why we had called the Director General of Statin to come and talk to us about the employment numbers. So this is another instance that we want her to come and clarify. We called her yesterday, but she never turned up. So let's see what happens.
Any intervention in the market today, the US dollar market?
No, but they floated another certificate of deposit and investors, it was oversubscribed, but investors wanted more money, 5.78% per annum.
And investors wanted what?
More money. The issue is 5.75. Investors said they wanted 5.78.
But
The interest rates are going up.
But it was
Consistent.
oversubscribed.
Yeah, man. They pumped in 44 billion while the government wanted 35 billion.
We give us the update on oil today on the global market.
Well, oil was trading today. It dipped a bit because people are waiting to hear what Donald is going to say tonight, because he's saying that he's going to leave Iran in 2 to 3 weeks. So we saw American oil closing at 98.90 and British oil closing at $101.16.
Let's take a call. 876-804-7072. Welcome to the Colin Bell Show. Go ahead, caller.
Hello?
Yes.
Hello? Yes, Colin.
Yes, sir.
Food for thought. When you talk about the 70s, how much term man they serve in the 70s?
2 terms.
2 term. All right, go to the 80s now. How much term did Mr. Blind serve?
2 terms.
All right. Did Manley have opposition within the 2 term?
Yes, Manley had opposition, of course. Yes.
All right. Did Edward have any opposition in his 2 term?
For the 2nd term, no.
So yeah, the free for all then, right?
Yes.
Well, he didn't have any parliamentary opposition, but he had opposition outside of the parliament.
Yeah, man, but we mean the parliamentary opposition.
Parliamentary
Official opposition. No,
No.
we never have none from 83 to 89. He never have any. Almost 6 years.
That almost 6 years. But they still refer to Manley creating some damage in the 70s. Right? Wherein he could have actually corrected everything within the time he was there, because he controlled the parliament then.
Yes.
That is one. All right, we don't do that part there. All right. You don't think Sir Mark Golden have every right for bad mind Andrew and the Labour Right Party?
To bad mind him?
You know the reason why? Bad mind him. You know the reason why? If it was Mark Golden failed to certify X amount of years, Jamaica would be in flames.
Well, yes.
And he actually can not be certified for X amount of years and nothing is happening. He's still the Prime Minister. So we have all right for bad mind him. Why is it that him get all the privileges while nobody else don't get it? If you understand where I'm coming from.
I
the JLP
understand.
party, in other words, the JLP party allowed to get away with just about everything in Jamaica.
I don't like the term bad mind. I think it will be better serve if you said Mark Golden have all right to hold Andrew Holness seriously accountable, and he should put criticize him and to criticize him. But I don't like the word the term bad mind.
Parishine. What I'm saying, understand what you're saying, but what I'm actually saying is that when they come with the bad mind term, why is it that you are allowed to get away with so many things? No. When there was a gas riot, when Patterson was in power, you had the man from Portland carry people go up a Stony Hill, carry a load of people to go Black Road and instigate all different type of things. So for the JLP to be able to get away with so many things, we have to bad mind them. Why is it that you're so privileged? That is what I'm saying.
Well, you bad mind him, but we don't think.
No. That is a word that they use.
I understand the argument that you're trying to put.
Yeah, man. We understand.
I say why they are doing this. That's the word they are using. So we would have all reason to.
And them run Jamaica, brother. Jamaica belongs to them. So they do anything and get away with it.
Remember,
they get away with
Because I
everything.
remember you make reference to a situation with a man that are representing Portland now. It's not just that, even the organization that the JLP taking on so vehemently. Remember that organization was formed, I think, in with him being a major player in there to take on the PNP, Jamaica for Justice. Remember that? That they are now
Yeah.
criticizing tooth and nail. You see, but a lot of people are not making themselves acquainted with the history. And as I said when I started talking to Colin earlier, not a criticism of Peter Gay per se, because I commend her as a young woman to be out there front and center in the politics, but too many young people in Jamaica are apathetic and not making themselves au fait with the history of Jamaica political system, sir.
All right, Carl. All right, Obi.
That is account, and they're not educated about what is happening and what happened then and what is happening now. Even with Richard Azan, what did Richard Azan did for the people in Spaldings compared to what is happening now?
Yeah, chalk to cheese.
What did he do wrong?
But we take our next call. Here, thanks.
All right. Blessing.
Yeah, man.
Respect, Parish. Respect.
Wally, what's new as it relates to the war and Jamaica's economy? Raleigh? Hold on. Raleigh? Ralston? I know we lose Ralston. Never know, so we lost him. Let's see if he comes back. 1-876-804-7072. We're taking your calls right here on the Colin Bell Show. It's crazy, the things that coming out of the University of the West Indies. Obi, I don't know how many of it you listened to yesterday, but some things came out that is just out of this world. Raleigh, you back with us? No.
Yeah, man. I listened to quite a few, and it's certainly very, very appalling, Colin, and it boggles the mind. It boggles the mind, and we are hoping that the investigation will be done, and certainly, the investigation is happening. We hope that the chips will fall where they may, and whoever is supposed to be sanctioned or whatever, it happens. Because you're talking about a premier institution, the UHWI, University Hospital of the West Indies. Yeah, and indeed not looking good at all. But I just want to say quickly, Colin, before Raleigh come back in. Well, I would be happy if Raleigh was there, because I had...
Hold on, the Obi. Raleigh, you back with us?
Yeah, man, I'm here.
Yeah, man.
Raleigh, I don't know if you were able to listen to me today. And I'll invite listeners that they can go up on my YouTube channel, Conrad Obi, the fireman, and listen back to the program, today's program. The man who is at the helm of one of the largest company in the Caribbean, Seprod, he was my guest today. And I mean, he made some revelation that is second to none, because we are consuming over 60% or just about 60% of the food that we're consuming is imported. And he made mention as to, he actually explained the fact that every single thing is up for increase. And he said that we could be looking at inflation of upward of about 12 to 13%. And of course, basic food items will be attracting in the first tranche right now a 5%, but what we are going to be seeing is about a 15 to 17% increase in basic food items.
Yeah, man.
Raleigh, speak to that, Raleigh.
Yeah?
Speak to that.
Yeah, man, but that's correct. Everybody in the world, that is what is happening right now as we speak. Every country in the world, the Bank of England is projecting inflation of 6%. Their target range is 2%. So 6% is a massive increase because the cost of energy drives up the cost of everything. So everything is going to go up. Fertilizer prices gone up food prices have to go up. Oil prices go up, every price have to go up. So right across the world, what we're talking about is a great stagflation right across the world.
And
Jamaica
what is our prediction for inflation based on the war rally?
Well, the Bank of Jamaica never gave a number, but they say that their target will be breached. That is one of the reasons they gave for not reducing the interest rates. Their target is 4 to 6%.
So the government of Jamaica, like the UK and like France and I think Italy has made
US
some predictions
everywhere.
as well. Our government is not supposed to tell us where they think this is going to go?
Yeah, well, the Bank of Jamaica is responsible for the inflation targeting. They never gave you a specific number, but they conceded that it will be higher than their target rates.
Where you think it is going to go, Raleigh?
Well, the 10 to 12% is not off base. At first, BOJ was projected 9% before the war started. You know?
9% after Hurricane Melissa.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
And with the war now.
Yeah, man.
So even 12% is still conservative, Raleigh.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man.
You know, and what Richard Pandu said today, he basically referenced, for example, something like soya beans, which and he said more and more of the food is now being used to create energy. So even that in itself is putting some pressure there.
Pressure on food supplies, yeah.
Absolutely. And he said, you know, to his credit, he said that the government of Jamaica should pivot right now and basically start to address these things.
Mm-hmm.
That's what he said. And it's instructive to hear. Sorry, Colin. It is instructive to hear one of our major private sector leader coming out and just speaking truth to power, as he did today.
Pando is always doing that, yeah, man.
Yes.
Go ahead, caller.
Good evening, gentlemen. Good evening.
Good evening.
Good evening. SP.
You know, me sit down in my dark class. Big up OB, me listen you, but me couldn't get for calling. Me so busy, but me everything. Big up Marlon. Him come with a good show. Anyway, Andrew Wallace, the Prime Minister me I talk to right now. The Prime Minister of Jamaica, Andrew Michael Holness. Mr. Holness, you mean to tell me, say, Andrew Wheatley mix up again? Almighty God. Andrew Holness, you mad? You sick? You not care? Look at Andrew Wheatley in a petrol jam and you go and you can't roll the corner, you fling in Egypt and you can't back in that parliament and again. Come on, Mr. Holness, man. This I get too stink now, man. Andrew Holness, careful in the man. Andrew Holness, we are really do. Yeah, disrespect people. Andrew Holness, stop it. Remember, say you have a life up there, come out of parliament. Me not talk to you, no big talking, no brother. Call the way you're prime minister, you know, you're still man like every man, you know. Brother, what you do, it too blatant. I wasn't listening to the PAC. And Almighty God, in my house, if I want a pin, I know where the pin put on. If I want a cup, I know where me store my cup. In my drawer, I know where my brother, I mean this there. And you tell me, say, up at university, man, I got to tell you, say, file, true flood file can't find. I sit and store in a file cabinet and jacket in a 2026, 2025, and where you have something I think up on internet. And you just code in it, bam, and you see come up. Brother, what I'm doing, man? And you always me tell you the truth, you know. Me sorry, I'm not here in front of your face to tell you. You go on until in the time the cup overflow. It's not gonna pity say plenty people I go fall. But it a go happen. This is too much, sir.
Gentle people, hold on.
This is too much.
Hold on, Sister P. Hold on.
Would like a report on what customs has found in terms of its investigation
into all four,
whatever remedies they have recommended for those companies to deal with the
Just to
specific.
be clear, Chair, Customs has made it very clear to us that they have nothing to do with those companies. We are the ones, the hospital is the one who they are holding accountable to pay all charges and fines. As to where we will get the money from, it is.
I mean, that's fair. I mean, they didn't, these companies didn't, it's your tax exemption that was utilized.
Rally.
Yeah, man.
$10 million. Custom investigate one of the company that use the hospital duty concession.
Mm-hmm.
Who should pay about that money, Rally?
Well, the companies.
And who must get it from the company?
The hospital.
Who sign off on these, Rally? Whose signature is on that paper that gave the 4 companies permission to use that duty concession?
It must be somebody high up at the hospital.
Don't you think that person, that individual, must pay about this money?
Well, if him can't get the companies to pay about the money, then that individual will have to pay about the money.
What do you think about all of this, Rally? You don't think somebody was benefiting directly from
Well, why would somebody do that if they are not benefiting?
But if you listen further, Rally, they gave a company permission to use the duty concession to buy something for like less than $2 million. And then the hospital buy it back from the person for like $6 million.
Yeah, man. So whoever in charge of the hospital in that area should be held responsible.
Well, make we listen a little bit more. Hold on there.
It is a hospital name that is on the importation documents, and therefore they are holding the importer as being accountable.
So that is why we want to understand, and that's why I probably have to come back, because it is not one company, it is 4. And this is based on the findings from the AG, who, as she said, it's a minute subset or sample that was taken of the operations of the UE. So we don't know if, as my friend said, this is institutionalized or if it is systemic. So that is why, Chair, we have to come back to see. So this is just probably the tip of the iceberg. But I proceed. In terms of deep diving a little bit, and I know you sir, are here only since January. I'm looking at page 10 of the actual Auditor General 72-page report. And there are a couple of things that I want clarity on. And this is as it relates to private company 3. And it is also related to private company 4, because I see permeating through this misuse of the tax exempt. So I want to understand a buyback, right?
Listen this.
Buying back.
No, listen this.
So you give them the tax exempt, and then they went and procured or brought the stuff in, and then we are buying it back. Well, not we. The Universal Hospital is buying it back, sometimes tenfold. So, for example, waste bins for private company 4. It says here was valued at 6.6 million. The company saved 3 million by virtue of the tax exemption. So they paid roughly 3.6. But then the hospital bought back that from private company 4 for 11 million. So I just want to understand. I want to understand why, as the chairman would have asked earlier, why didn't you just utilize your tax exemption in the first instance to buy the thing? And what is this buyback about?
Rally?
Yeah, man.
You hear that?
Yeah, man. So it is simple. Somebody must be benefiting, and whoever in charge of that process at the hospital must be held accountable. That is clearly a scam.
The taxpayers of this country have been
Mhm.
scammed before, Raleigh. It's the
Yeah,
same
man.
thing happening at FinSac.
Yeah, man.
People nyam food and taxpayers pay back the money.
Yeah, man. Scam.
How we going to navigate this?
Well, as I said, I mean, public pressure must ensure that the investigation leads somewhere, and it must lead to the person who is in charge of the procurement process at the hospital. So that person must be held accountable. If it's a combination of persons, all of them must be held accountable, and all of them must be dismissed. Yeah. So they are responsible for getting the companies to pay back the money. If they can't get the companies to pay back the money, they must pay back the money and not the hospital and not the taxpayers. And they must be removed from their position forthwith. The taxpayers, and they must be removed from their position. Yeah, they must be removed from their position forthwith.
Huh?
No, man, everything is scandalous, man. Everything can't work. Particularly in the health sector that is deprived of resources and in such a bad shape. No, man.
And
Whoever, whether it's an individual,
this is a small sample.
precisely. So whether it's an individual or a group of individuals, they must be held accountable. They must be held accountable to get back the money from the companies. Or if they can't get back the money from the companies, then they must pay back the money. And they must be removed. And at the political level, I think it's time that this minister be relieved of his portfolio. But again, because of the structure of compromise in the system at the top, nothing is going to happen.
What you mean structure of compromise in the system of the top? Where at the top? What that mean?
Yeah,
the top man is compromised, so he can't find nobody. Simple.
Exactly.
Obi, is there any politics involved in what is taking place at the UHWI?
All right. Absolute. Well, the whole thing is being carried. Absolutely, there are some politics that you say people try to weave some politics into it, because there is the emphasis on Jack Den, because Jack Den is headed by a PNP member of parliament. However, those persons who carry that line did not look at it to say that, listen, one of their own is also involved in this in the form of the person that we mentioned earlier. But I want to raise something here, Raleigh and Colin. I was told yesterday, and I haven't gotten the chance to look at it yet, but I was told that it would be interesting to look at the article of association that govern the University of the West Indies and what it speaks to as it relates to, say, a company such as Jack Den, who would have benefited from those equipment that had to do directly with healthcare versus something that, for example, what talked about there, the bin and so on, which, while it is used within the health facility are used within other form of business, but it is not it is not something like, for example, an x-ray machine or a diagnosis machine and so on, that Jack then would have been, would be facilitated to have. And I think I want to look at that, because I was told that, listen, the article of association basically give this kind of leverage to the UHWI.
Hold on. To do what?
To afford company like a Jack Den that is adding to the whole fabric of the healthcare. And I also understand that if you dig deep, companies such as, even when it was private company, the hospital there that is done by Deanery, and also other private hospital would have benefit from the same facility.
So am I to understand from you then that you are saying that there is precedence and that there is the capacity for the UHWI to allow other medical facilities to use their duty concession?
that's what was brought to my attention by an individual, right? As I said, I have not perused the article of association that he had basically make reference to.
Mm-hmm.
So I am not here putting my head on the block, so to speak. I'm just positing that there's a school of thought there, Raleigh.
Have you ever heard anything like that, Raleigh?
Yeah, I hear it.
Have you
No,
ever
I
heard
never
anything?
heard that before.
Never heard that before.
Mm.
Gentlemen.
No, never heard that before.
Gentlemen, I want to just take you back a little bit to what the cost.
But sorry, Raleigh.
Obi.
Sorry, Colin. Raleigh, it sounds plausible.
Well, if you say somebody said
Yeah, but I've never heard it before. But it sounds plausible.
Either.
Yeah, that's all I want to know, if it sounds plausible.
It could be possible, but it's something that we have maybe
man, definitely.
questions about. But Raleigh, in light of where Jamaica is right now with its finances, a budget presented recently that does not speak to the effect on the war, a budget that at a time coming out of a major disaster, we see the government putting in new taxes means that their options based on them have been cut. They don't have a lot of option but to tax the people coming out of this disaster and heading into a recession. We're putting on taxes. Corruption is one of the things that has been costing the country a lot of money. Some people say $120 billion annually. And see these things coming to the fore. What would this do to the confidence of the people operating in this industry? Do know. Raleigh?
Well, I mean, the whole thing is confidence eroding, and as I said before, given the uncertainty that is happening internationally, this complicates the situation because investors internationally, they are uncertain about what is happening in the global economy, and then when they look at you at a destination and see the level of corruption, that affects investor confidence and affects economic activity. That's straightforward. Investors don't like to invest in places where this thing is happening.
You know, Raleigh and Colin, as we have basically argued here several times, Richard also highlighted today that there will be a windfall coming in for the government based on the ad valorem tax and so how it is structured. Because as a matter of fact, he actually asked the question, who will be benefiting from this high oil price based on how Jamaica system is structured? And I hesitated, and he said the government. And he basically posited that the government is in a position by virtue of that to relieve us of some of that pressure by giving back to us some of this windfall that will be coming in by virtue of them collecting so much.
We have a call. Let's take the call. I have another view, but let's take the call. Go ahead, caller.
Good evening, Uncle Ralston. Good evening, Colin. Good evening, O'Brien. And good evening to my fellow.
Yeah, man, that's what most governments across the world
doing. Mm-hmm.
Go ahead, caller.
Hello?
Yes, caller.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Yeah. Yes, I was just greeting everyone. Colin, in a calm and collective way, you ask certain questions, and I'm unsure if the understanding is clear. There are measures in place at the university. It was noted in the meeting, the CAP or PAC meeting. I watched it. It was at 1.5, Colin. They had those control measures in place. In that same meeting, Miss what's her name, the Auditor General, or she said then 10 million that they took on after that fact that is written, the 1.5 million control measure that is in place, that will trigger a red flag or for further
No,
investigation
no,
or for, yes.
Hold on. The
Okay.
1.5 don't trigger a red flag. She said that it is mandatory. That came in place in 2023. That every contract, hold on, every contract of a 1.5 million and above must go on the portal. The University of the West Indies, the man claimed that they took part in the training in 2021. And after the training, they decided to use 10 million. However, when it came mandatory in 2023, they did not transition. Either them never know or them deliberately did not transition. So they were still
never put
operating.
it in this.
They were still operating that them can put it up if them feel like. Behaving like them never know that it became mandatory in 2023.
That means the IT, because the IT guy was there. That was not.
Caller? We lost you. Raleigh,
no, man, you know, lose me, Colin.
But me need to hear
you.
Sorry about that. Colin, what I was saying, the IT guy said they didn't put it, although it was in theory, it was not practically put in the system. That they have it in there, like the 1.5, as you said, corrected me, which is clear. And that's how I should communicate it. So, with all that being said, Uncle Ralston did note that you asked the question that who is responsible to pay back? The man who is the CEO, current CEO, said the custom people tell them, say, and they need to pay it. So what measures or how did the university go and get back the money from them? The 4 company, which is only a synopsis, a percentage, as we all noted, they say it's just 4 out of all of them. How they can get back them the money then?
And it must also noted that my information is that Dennis Gordon, he's saying that he is willing to pay back, but the same argument that I posited earlier, it's going to trigger that persons who would have benefited from this in the past, they would now have to step up to the plate. So all of those things are...
but the thing is, Obi, if it is legal, and if that
then nobody would have to pay back. Then nobody would have to pay back anything.
Exactly. If what Obi is saying goes so, then nobody have to pay back. But let's see. This is a pregnancy happening right now. Baby, I deliver now.
Correct.
Same way, because we need to have clarity when we're talking. Because on the other hand, Peter Gay, that was a brilliant move on you. Excellent to bring the voice of the young people, that they have a voice, and there is a segment in the PNP, the People's National Party, for young people to voice what they are saying. No, because Peter Gay is showing that the machine is there. We just need to oil it, Colin, right?
Yes.
We need to put oil in it and we need to ignite it. Is that correct?
Correct.
All right. I agree, but I'll also add to that. You know, me, I'll call it as it is. The comedy palm ground and me, I deal with a real thing. The PNP-YO need to go on a massive recruiting drive. The PNP-YO is absent and lacking in a number of organizations and institutions that in the past, they were king and queens there. Let's not beat around the Mulberry bush.
All right,
caller.
All
take
right.
Another call.
Yes, no, me not have nothing more to say than Colin. Me I listen. Me going back to.
Am I right, Raleigh?
47072.
Raleigh, am I right?
Yeah, man. Them need to be more assertive and aggressive. Yeah, man.
They would know this.
Shaka.
Bless up, my brother. Wagwan.
Boy, brother, me there now.
So you hear what is
happening? When I sat down yesterday and I watched that meeting with
as if I was watching a science fiction, you know? Watching it unravel bit by bit.
I tell you
You
something,
know, and
I lie down watching it and could not fall asleep. Couldn't fall
no man,
asleep.
I was I was doing some writing, and while I was watching it, and I did more of watching it than the writing.
Yes.
But I come this evening, Shaka, with another matter.
Yes.
We have a burn fire now,
Yeah.
and I
Yeah,
would
man.
love to get Rally's input.
Blaze it.
The Reggae Boys have once again failed to make it to another World Cup. The greatest opportunity given to us
Fighting chance. Obviously,
when we had
with my wife.
America, Canada, and Mexico all that
out
going
of
through on a pass.
Out of the qualifiers.
We got a very easy group.
Oh.
And because of all that happened, the poor management from even a board level and poor decisions taken, and the ego of some people, we went into a tailspin where we end up having to play off. We got lucky against the New Caledonia.
Yeah.
And then we got what was almost inevitably a defeat from DR Congo.
Yes.
But really, because I am here advocating for the entire board to put, starting with the president, to just showing the resignation in block.
But I call for that right after the match with well, I can't remember the place name, man. The place is so small I can't remember the name. But them name again, Rally?
You're talking about Curacao?
Curacao. After that match with Curacao, I came public and I said the coach, the entire coaching staff, the president of the JFF should all be fired or handing them resignation.
But you know, Colin, an excellent rally. The fact of the matter, I'm not putting up any defense here. But let us contextualize this whole thing with Curacao, because it is we say it and we look at Curacao and its size and the fact that Curacao doesn't have any footballing pedigree, as it were. However, about 99% of those players that was on the pitch for Curacao, they are from France, and they ply their trade there.
Obi, hold on.
Yes.
Obi, I think you're looking from the wrong. We have a
no, I'm not. No, not at all. I'm just putting things into context.
Excellent. Hold on, Obi. Hold on. And I want Raleigh speak on this, because when you watch the match, forget names, watch the match between Curacao and Jamaica. Did Jamaica played at a level where we say we were outplayed? Was that the case? Did Jamaica play any football where look like we did want to win in the game?
No, we were outplayed.
No.
We were what?
We were outplayed by them.
Hold on. Rally. Lose Rally again.
But Shaka, it's not the foot, it's not that we come out, you know. When we come out, you know.
But what may I say? You didn't watch the match against Curacao, the two matches. Curacao.
Shaka, I watched all the games.
We're not playing no football. I don't care. Even the match yesterday. I think that when we see from the Republic of Congo, wasn't nothing that we think we should have lose to.
But Shaka, I don't come out, you know, because you see that is gone through the wind. When me I look ponder in the Shaka, and I wish Raleigh would on the call, the country has lost the opportunity to kick forward our football development.
Yes.
For the next 15 years.
Yeah, man.
We have lost $10.5 million US. 1.5 million for preparation to go to the World Cup, and then another 9 million at the World Cup at base.
That's what FIFA would have given us. Coming off the back of Jamaica being in a restriction for almost 6 years where we could not get any money because we never had proper audited financial statements and all that. No, Shaka. That's why I wanted to rally here now, because if we had made it to the World Cup, I am sure we would have owned in at least another 2 to 3 million US of money coming in to help to kickstart our football. And if you look at that 10.5 million US, that amount to about 1.6 billion Jamaican dollars, where we could have given at least every parish FA in the country 150 million to work out their football infrastructure over time, improve the grounds. Because right now, people in Jamaica cannot find sponsorship for football. All the parishes can't find sponsorship. And the JSF have thrown away this.
Yeah, man. Excellent. Hold on there. Raleigh, you saw the matches against Curacao. Did Jamaica play any quality football?
They have not played any quality football for the whole of the campaign. Kick and run.
So,
no midfield general, no direction.
So when we talk about the players from Curacao coming from France, them never outplay where we could have said, we just never play no ball.
We just not playing a ball. For the whole campaign, we're not playing a ball. There's no midfield general, nobody directing. I just kick and run.
From the back to the front, long ball over there, long ball over there.
Yeah. There's no general.
No chemistry in the team. No pattern.
Right. No, that's a team. I'm on the second ball from one part of the field to the other.
So, Raleigh, my question to you, Raleigh, with that mandatory 10.5 million US that we would have gotten, it to assist our program, what do you think might have been the lost impossible revenue that the JFF has incurred, that now that we have lost the chance to go to World Cup? And how could that money help to kickstart our football in the future?
Repeat that, Colin.
No, I'm saying, with that mandatory 10.5 million that we would have gotten if we had made it to the World Cup, plus the other added money to come, what do you think might have been the value that would have gotten in JFF in total if we had made it to the World Cup in terms of possible sponsorship and all of those added values to the 10.5 million? And how do you think that could have impacted Jamaica football future going forward?
Would have reached, but it is billions of dollars just for that match alone. We lost $1.6 billion. So we have had billions of dollars to develop the program, develop infrastructure and all of those things, and develop our players, buy better equipment and all of that, and develop the football, because we're not developing the football. What we're doing is going around in England and picking up some people from League One and League Two and all of those things and bring them to come to Jamaica. That is not development of a team. We have not been developing the game locally.
So, really, with that possible loss, because
Hold on, the excellence. Somebody was just correcting me that the players are from Holland or the Netherlands, one and the same.
Yeah. But Raleigh, so I am saying my calculated estimate is that we might have lost perhaps 12 million US, right? That would have been the 10.5.
That's a reasonable figure. Yeah.
Sponsorship and all that.
Which
so
is
Raleigh,
about $2 billion Jamaican dollars and change.
So Raleigh, the thing is no, Raleigh. I am here and I would move a national campaign to ask that the president and the board, because we moved in block. Because Raleigh, when I look at it, 50 million per parish.
The country, we must pressure them to go.
We never get a chance as easy as this. And you see, I called for it before we lose this match, I know. From that match between Curacao and Jamaica at the National Stadium. I say what must happen now. Ricketts, the entire coaching team must leave, get a new set of people, new coach with a new mindset, I even say to Speed, that going to Mexico, it should be mostly local players, that if we lose, they would have gotten some experience, because losing this match yesterday is losing everything,
Yeah, man.
Because all of them man, gone back to England, gone play whatever. None of our little youth. You don't play Dujan Whisper. What kind of thing that with Speed to? Oh, Whisper no make the
them
team.
No good. Them no good. Them man say them career couldn't go any further in England, so them decided to play for Jamaica.
They couldn't make England side.
Right. So them can't play for Jamaica.
Really, I am looking at 50 million per FA, Out of that money, each FA could have gotten 50 million. And a significant amount of money, at least $1 billion, still would be at JFF headquarters to push the programs.
Yeah, man,
no, we are down.
And develop the players and all kind of things. Enormous potential.
A severe loss. And I think Ricky should go.
No.
Ricky's on his board.
No.
Should go before the week is out.
No.
Yeah, man.
All right.
So
so Shaka, I mean that Shaka.
Yeah, respect.
In other countries, nobody would ask him to resign. Nobody does go.
The man, them need to step, though.
Yeah, man, them need to step voluntarily. Them shouldn't even make nobody else ask them if they are in shape.
Hello, caller. Good evening.
Shaka.
Yes.
I'm going to piggyback on the football conversation.
Yeah.
What may I say is, will we failing to qualify for the next World Cup? The senior men's team has lost $10.5 million as the previous caller mentioned, right?
Yeah.
So that's over $1 billion Jamaican dollars that could help develop football on every level in the country, right? However, with the under-17 qualify, let us say them are going to make $4 million off of that. And with the female team set to qualify for another World Cup, it's another $5 million. So they gave them a pocket of $8 million after the two teams.
Yeah.
What we need to understand, Shaka, is that football is a gateway now for the youth.
Football is a what?
A gateway for the youth them come out of poverty and better the family and better the country.
Yes. Yes.
Right? But what people need to understand also is that the youth them come like them now. I don't know what kind of what go through them head, but once them start making money, but there's no civic pride. Them not love the country no more.
Hold on. But we're not giving our youth them pan the ground a chance. Realize that our youth them pan the ground now get no chance. You have to born England with your grandmother Jamaican.
No, but you will go fix a problem in our Shaka. I'm going to tell you the simple solution. Anybody from JFF listening want to take lessons on that. See? All right, this current under-17 team are qualified for the World Cup. They get 15 of those players. They get 15 of the under-20 team. The third one squad. Now, you never play football, and what you can do is that you can enroll a 30-man squad of local-based players to be members of the Jamaica Defence Force. Shaka, it's a Jamaica Defence Force, JDF, as a solid football program. Let them still have it. But me serving Nigerians previously, so we know they may have a football program. So you could have enrolled 30 of them ballers from the country in the JDF. Remember, I know them a soldier and first and foremost a football player. They will play football.
Yeah.
Right, that's what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That may you probably know. How the football team go Nigeria.
You see with that point, one I think I wanted to say earlier, that for a small country like Jamaica, Curacao, Trinidad, to get to the World Cup, they have to be a government buy-in. Anytime you see a small country go World Cup, it's a government buy-in. When we got there in 1998, it was a government buy-in from PG.
Thank you very much.
We never just, and a GFF alone take us there. Small nations
Thank you very
to go to the World Cup, government buy-in it needed. This government never buy into the program.
But Shaka, what enough people don't realize, you see the Curacao team that qualify for the World Cup, most of those players are from the Netherlands.
Yeah, but what that said.
The member saying no. Curacao is a part of a Dutch colony, you know, brother.
Yes.
So the player them for play in the Netherlands.
Hold on, go ahead, Raleigh.
The point is that where Jamaica went in 1998, if we were developing the football, Jamaica is now in a situation where Canada, Mexico, and the USA will never have to play them. We used to be toe-to-toe with those teams.
Yes.
It's showing that the program is not being developed and that the personnel at the JFF must go. We should be, when a Curacao players come from Netherlands, we should be far ahead of those teams based on where we were coming from if we were developing the game. What we do is go to England and pick up some man. Them man can't play football. Yeah? And never develop the program in Jamaica.
Hold on, caller. Go ahead now, caller.
Back in the days when Mexico and USA and Honduras and El Salvador and Costa Rica, then the time that those 5 teams were the top teams at the draw with Jamaica, we got qualified for 98. And when they come on Jamaica company, they were shaking at their boots.
Of course. But nobody no fear Jamaica.
When they come at the office, they were shaking at their boots.
Because we had a Jamaican team then.
Thank you very much. But what we need to do, we need to do the core of the Jamaican national team with local-based footballers.
That's what we should have been doing. And that is how we qualified when we qualified.
And this is what I call
hold on. And the reason why I made this suggestion about letting the players, the 30 players join the JDF, they'll be paid monthly by the government. Right, so them salaries well taken care of. They will play football on behalf of the country as on secondment to the Jamaica Football Federation, but they are paid by the government of Jamaica, right? As soldiers and as footballers, and then you build the core around a local-based team, and local-based players, and then you fit in 1 and 2 overseas players into positions where so the core of the team is basically Jamaican baseballers. Just like what happened in 1998.
So what GFF has been trying to do since 1998 is to show how we do not need to qualify. Because a format was found what to do to qualify. And the format worked. We have never gone back to that format. What kind of people are we? What kind of people are we? You have a format where work and every campaign, you try to show that the format there, we not have to use it. And every time you do that, you lose.
I am going to tell you something. I'm going to tell you something right now. Anybody
Hold on, caller. Go ahead, Raleigh.
We got to the imported model where we're trying to import everything. So we go to England and we get some little man from League 1 and League 2 and League 3 and bring them come to Jamaica and stifle the ballers them in Jamaica and develop the game in Jamaica. And most of them man, they're not good. And it costs us a whole lot of money for bring them come. And them come because them can't make England's team. Yeah?
And it's just not
so
good,
that
Raleigh.
is the problem. And we have to change that model. And that is why everybody at JFF must go. So even if we bring the under 17 people them together, we can't have the same personnel running the JFF. There's no excuse for that. Those people have to go. Yeah.
And the next thing, Raleigh, the people who care from England and wherever come, they are not committed.
No, man, them are not good, man. They're committed, man. Them not good neither. Them not have a commitment. Them only come to Jamaica because they can't make England team. They're not good. That's a ball.
Go ahead, caller.
I happen to have a conversation with a previous caretaker of the senior men's national team. And he said to me at one point, when Jamaica failed to qualify for, I think, a 2004 or 2008 World Cup, he went to the almighty JFF president, who everybody prays as God, and gave him the same blueprint that I just told you about, making the core of the team local-based players, make them join the JFF, he'll be the coach, and then when he put that idea to Captain Horace Burrell turned to him and said,
I am trying to qualify Jamaica's football for the next World Cup. And a quick fix me a deal with me not depend that you're going to the
All right, my brother. Enough respect and thanks for the call.
Blessings.
Raleigh, we're wrapping up for this evening. Jamaica's economy, we have to go back there, so. Because our government...
The football is the same model like the economy, depending on imports. We have to build things, we have to develop things. The quick fixes are not going to work.
And that's
the
why
same thing with the economy.
That's why we're not looking at the orange economy, Ralston. The football is a part of the orange economy. We're not focusing on these aspects of growing, of creating wealth in our country. And therefore, we don't realize that if we use our ballers them, if we did use a local team, more local based team rally, even if we not qualify and 4 or 5 of them get a contract to go play a foreign, would have earned something. Because we did not use our local players. Nobody not get no tight.
No, except the people up at JFF.
Anyway, Raleigh, we're not going to talk again till Saturday. You give the people them a summary of what has happened this week and what you think is to come before we go.
All right, so we got the unemployment numbers. More people are leaving the labor force, joining those who are outside of the labor force. So we have 714,000 persons outside of the labor force. The investors that are investing in BOJ securities, they want higher rates, just like what we're seeing right across the globe. People expect an acceleration of inflation and higher interest rates. We saw the starting giving us the report, GDP declined by 7.1% during the last quarter of last year. We expect that decline to continue into the first quarter of this year, pushing the country into a recession. And we expect to see an acceleration of inflation, higher prices, and more household deprivation because the people will not be able to keep up with higher prices based on the fixed salaries that they have right now. So that is where we see the economy going, unless there is government action to correct it. And the action that we're seeing most governments across the globe taking is to subsidize the cost of fuel and electricity. Yeah? The government will be getting more revenues because of the ad valorem tax, means that you get more according to the value. They could easily say, we're giving back some. Australia said they're cutting the prices on those things for the next 3 months and then they'll wait to see what happens after. The government of Jamaica can do something just like that because the government still has access to over 3.2 billion in concessional financing. That is financing below 5% from IMF, World Bank, IDB, and those places. Yeah. So we're waiting on the government to come and tell us what is it that they are going to be doing about this crisis. The longer they take to do that, is the greater the level of deterioration will be, and the greater the level of social dislocation. They're already late in responding to the crisis.
6 weeks into the war rally, from the war start, every week gas price increase in Jamaica.
Must. Yeah, man, must. There's no way of stopping that.
And the government has said nothing.
Nothing. Just like we have now gone almost 6 months since Melissa and nothing is happening.
Nothing.
They're always late.
Slow off the mark again.
Yeah, man, always late because they're clueless.
All right, my brother. Enough respect and thanks.
All right, blessings as usual. Yeah,
listeners and viewers, Ralston Iman, the teacher in class this evening. We're closing out, but we're going to complete this clip here from Chris Brown at the PAAC. Listen to him.
Also, I think private company 3, cups and dishes, imported for 1.4 million, and then the UE buy it back again for 6.9. So the country has heard about, and there's been glorification and publication around one entity when there are 4 companies, when it's possible it has been institutionalized and the utilization of the tax exemption is a convention and practice between the EU and its partners. But this buyback, what it is about and who is benefiting, because it's 1.4 and then buy it back at 6.9. So this company, private company 4, has made, 3 or 4 times profit. Private company 3 has made 10-fold profit. So I just want some clarity on that, CEO, because it looks really bad, but perhaps there is some explanation to it that some of us can't really understand.
Based on what you have shared, member, it would have, based on what you have said and what the Auditor General has stated, it is extremely bad. However, I cannot tell you why it was done.
Is there anybody else here who could tell us why?
I can tell you none of the senior leadership here or even in the hospital have been able to share or to say why it was just done.
Why are we buying back? Who is making money? What is this? And who? Yes.
Can we have a time limit?
For the entire member. Now, I'm asking all my pertinent questions, Member Cuthbert.
No, it's not critical. Member Cuthbert, we do have Parliament sitting at 2,
That's
and
right.
these issues have to be fully ventilated. And I'll give everybody an opportunity to talk. Everybody.
Yeah, so there's nobody who can help us with this buyback to understand the rationale behind the buyback and who are the beneficiaries.
The persons may purchase items and then sell the hospital and have their markup. And therefore, I only know. I don't know.
Who authorized these buybacks, though? You have no knowledge of who is within the university hospital who would have been authorizing these buybacks.
The matter, as I said, Chair, I have to be very careful because, as I said, this is before the police and also before customs and Integrity Commission. And Mr. Chair, I don't want to say reasons. I would prefer them with their investigative skills to do the assessment and make the determination through the due process, whether it be courts or otherwise.
Well, all right, first I want to welcome, there are 49 students from Dunrobin Primary. Well,
thank you, Chairman Julian Robinson. May the good Lord continue to bless and keep you all. Make his face shine upon you and be gracious unto you. The Lord lift up his light and give you his peace. And until we meet again Saturday morning. If you have not yet subscribed to the channel, please subscribe, like, and share. May the good Lord be with you. Peace be unto you, my people. Join us Saturday morning and become a Portland Spice ambassador. Bring some people. One love.
Tell them to try pre-we, big up Portland Spice TV. Tell them to try pre-we, big up Portland Spice TV. Remember to subscribe. See, Portland Spice TV, Louis Culture say it once and we say it again. Portland Spice TV. We are going to hold them and pop it off. Bogus match where we rip off. Subscribe, share, Portland